Alright, welcome back to Springheel Speed Build. I think we are in the final stretch now. We have to be, since there's only about 12 minutes left before our 4-hour deadline. I think I've already conceded that I'm not going to meet that deadline completely, but I want to stay as close to it as I can. So we're going to quickly add some AI to the map, some opponents, and again we're going to use prefabs as much as possible for this. There's still a few things to do after that, but we'll deal with those as they come. So let's start off by putting some AI in here. Now I had mentioned before that I was making some platforms because I wanted to have some archers up above where they could get a chance to see the players. And we're going to pick our two archers now. We've got a female thief archer. We've got a townsfolk commoner, but there's another thief archer there. So let's do that. We'll take a, put her up there a little bit. Actually, let's make sure she's on let's turn the monster clip off so we can see a little bit. Okay, so she is safely on there, so we'll put her there, and over here we'll take the thief archer and put him over there. Now we're going to put some paths here. Now there are some pre-made paths already designed, and when we can use them we're going to. So this is two path corners with two weights, so the AI will patrol back and forth and wait at each one, and that would be perfect for these walkways. So let's do that. We'll lower this down here, and we'll have to move this slightly, ungroup it, and get rid of that, and we'll move this down here and put that maybe right at the top of the stairs. It'd be a good place for him to wait. And then these weight nodes control what direction they turn when they get to that point. So we'll have them turn and look down the stairs there, and when they're here we'll have him, well, let's actually rotate it. We'll have him look sort of this way a little bit. Okay, well, hold on, we'll copy this and we'll do the same thing over here for her, and then we'll keep grabbing that roof. Target him there, and let's just hide that roof. Anything else that keeps me from selecting? And we'll target there. Now we have to change the angles on hers so she can face the stairs, and the arrow tells you what direction they're going to face. Let's have her face it that way. There we go. Let's save this as map 7. Alright, so that's one. Now, the other thing we had said we wanted was a torch. Guy with a torch, and it just so happens I had one from my Reputation to Uphold map that I made a prefab out of. A guard with a torch and a path node where they wait. So I'm going to rotate this around. Here's the node where they actually stop and wait for a minute. So we're going to put that right by the stairs, because that seems like a good spot for them to wait. And then we will ungroup. Let's deselect these because they're in the spot we want. And then we will move this over here. We've got to put these path nodes so that they are not too close to world geometry. I think if they are closer than 16 to monster clip or a wall, it causes the AI some problems. And then we'll put this one right there. There should be plenty of room there. Actually, let's turn on the monster clip. And yep, there's room there, although I bet you they can't get through that. Let's go there for a minute. Yeah, that sticks out a lot farther than it should. I don't think he can fit through that gap. Let's move this over. Move that over there. That should be better. Okay. All right, so there is our guard with a torch. And again, let's just check these path nodes and point them the direction we want. So sometimes he'll turn and look that direction. Sometimes he'll turn and look that direction. Sounds good. Okay, so there's that guy. What else have we got? Okay, this is an ambient beggar. I don't think there's really any use for him. Audience, no. Door knocker, no. Guard with club. Yes, I would like a guard with club. Makes him look more like a thug. We'll put him over here. He doesn't come with any path nodes, so we will get him to do something later. What else? Playing cards, no. Leaning, no. But patrol 1 lean. Yeah, this is also something I had in reputation to uphold, and I think this might actually be kind of neat. So we'll take this guy, and what he does is he walks to a certain point and then leans up against something using an animation that was made for us by Sotha. So I'm going to see if I can get him to lean up against these whatever they are, packages. And to do that, you position this wall, this brush, up where you want him to lean. So if I move the brush so that it fits up against the packages, he should lean against them like that. And then I'll ungroup. I'm going to delete that brush. And then let's move some of the other things. I think I have to leave these here, but these two will move over here, and we'll have him patrol into this room over here. Okay, so I've got that, and then we've got these two. I feel like we're missing something. Okay, so those two go there and then walk down here. This is the lean. I assume this is... Oh, yeah, so it goes over here. Okay, there were a few more things. These things over here, we've got to grab them. Let's hide this so it's not in the way. That so it's not in the way, and let's grab these. Oh, come on. If I move the mouse, if I drag the mouse even slightly, it selects everything under. And then we'll move these down here. And again, there are some weights, so let's click on those, and we'll just rotate them so that, oops, they're facing the way that we want. Yeah. And I just rotate them because sometimes the default arrow is that there's an arrow but there's no value, and when you rotate it, it creates a value. Alright, so there's our four AI to begin with, and that should be nice for the warehouse. So we will save that. Next, we've got to do something in here, and I think again we're going to use these same patrol and weight paths. So let's move these over here, and let's make sure that we're on the ground. Okay, what if I just floor it? Does flooring work? Sure. Okay, and then we'll grab these two, move them down here. So these guys will patrol back and forth, and they will stop and look down the stairs. Actually, let's move this out from the wall a little bit. Remember, it's the corner, the path corner, that determines where they walk. That's already facing down the stairs, and we'll have him target that. Good. And then I pretty much want to do the same thing at the bottom of the stairs, so let's select these again, clone, rotate, and then these guys will be looking up the stairs. Now, did that floor? Good. Okay, and then we just have to figure out what guard we're going to put walking on there. So let's create a new guy. Burglar. Sure. Let's do a burglar. We want these guys to look like thugs. And he's down there. We'll target him at that. Okay, so now we've got guards patrolling back and forth there. Good. Any other guys? Patrolling torch. Sitting thief drinking from a score to settle. Sounds like that might be a good thing to do too. Not quite sure where I would put him though. And we do have to do the leader, the head of this group, the boss. So let's make him a thug, a thief thug. And we'll put him there, or at least we'll start him there, and he will have a longer path. So I want to do prefab 4 corners double hub. So here we've got a random hub where when the AI reaches this path node, they have a chance of continuing or going over here and switching to this circle. So it gives them a nice kind of wide path. So we'll move this over here and we'll put, I don't know how well flooring will work here. We'll just zip to the center and bring that down. Where is this door? Why does it look like we're outside? Oh, because we're still too high. Okay, there's the door. I'm actually going to unlock this door for a moment because I haven't decided yet where I want to have guys walking. Okay, so where did our... There they are. Bring them down a little more so I can see them. Okay, so we'll put this one in front of the door. Actually, apparently Grayman says that it's not a good idea to put them right in front of the door, so we will move those later, but I think I want to deal with that one last. Well, we have no choice really. We've got to ungroup this anyway. So let's move this back from the door, and in fact we'll put it here, and we'll move this one back from the door and put it, say, there. Hopefully that'll work. And so here we'll have the AI walk out to around the stairs, floor it, and here, oops, same thing, raise it up and floor it. This will be where he comes to when he comes back to his own room. Again, that's got to be on the top floor. And we'll floor it. And then these ones. So once he comes in here, let's have him, oh, come on, hide all these things that are in the way. Grab, oh, how many things are in the way? We'll grab this and we'll have him walk right up here. And floor. And then let's have him walk all the way down the center and floor it. And then this is his route back. And maybe we'll put him right about, I don't know, say he goes back there and floor it. Good. Now the last thing I want to do is give him a path weight here, because when he walks into his room, I would like him to at least have a chance of staying there. Now I'm going to put weight max 15, So he may stay for a while, and we're going to target this. I'm going to leave both targeted, which means sometimes he'll wait, and sometimes he won't. And the wait node also has to path that. So either way, he's going to go to that one next, but sometimes he'll wait, and sometimes he won't. All right, so that's 2 AI here, 4 here, and 1 that goes around quite a bit. I think that's pretty good for our AI. Oh, that's something I want to do. I want to give this guy a specific vocal set. Rather than being like a thug, I want him to be a commander, because he is the guy that's in controls. Commander armed. It's not the most representative.
Left a weapon here.
There we go. Okay, so we'll leave him like that. Oh, we better target him. Okay. And did we target these guys? I don't recall. Yep, we did. You can see the little arrow. Okay, so we should be good there. Now, we've unlocked the door. We've got our AI in. The last thing I think we want to do before doing some testing is loot and equipment. We want to put some loot for the player to find, and we want to put some equipment, water arrows and things like that, to find. Now I've got this area here that's nice and lit, and I know I want to put something in there to tempt the player. Might be a good idea to test out some of these other areas and just see where is it hard for the player to get to, because anywhere that it's a little tricky to get to, it would make a good place to put something worth getting there for. So maybe we should go in and test it at this point. Let's do that. I saved it, and let's go in and see what we have. Rebuild 7. Oh, and it leaked. Okay, well, that's not a good start. What leaked? Oh, do we have... For some reason that's way down below, so I guess that was out in the void somewhere. We don't want that. That's better. So I know we're over our 4-hour limit at this point, but just a reminder that I am not counting the testing as part of the time. I think my goal now is to try to get in under 4.5. We've got loot and equipment to put in, which I don't think will take long. That hidden safe we had planned is going to take a few minutes, but I think it's worth the extra time. Then we just have to do objectives and the briefing. And then there's a couple things that I'd like to demonstrate that will take a little extra time that I could kind of do without. So I'm deciding whether I want to do those. One thing is testing for internal leaks, because there's a method for that I found that's really simple, and I don't think many people know about it. Okay, so the new lights look much better. Okay, let's see. No, actually, let's put no target on so we don't have to get killed here. All right. So that looks pretty good, marching along. Let's actually go no clip, and we'll float up and watch what he does. So pathfinding around looks pretty good. How are our archers? Ah, nice, right in the light. She's not quite so much in the light. I might want to move her over. We also want to check our leaning guy and make sure he leans the way he's supposed to. Now those archers are really hard to see back there. It's not so bad when they come forward. She just did a little bit of scooching there. I have to check where her
I'm not the only one on this
corner is. And I might want to... I never put any ambient lights on those windows. Oh, there's our thug commander. So that's something I might want to do, especially there, just to help light up those guys so the player isn't totally surprised by the fact that they're there.
That's the problem. Doesn't anyone do an honest day's work anymore?
Also worth noting, we have not done much performance work in here. All we did was seal the doorways. Everything in here is still being rendered, and we're going to put some more vis portals in to make sure that doesn't happen, which will speed things up a bit. Okay, so where is our leaning guy? I've not seen him come out yet. I would have thought he'd been out here by now. Yeah, she does a little scooty dance there. A little tap dance, so something's wrong with her. Oh, here he comes.
Yes, sir.
Those guys might look a little bit too much alike. Both have chain offs on. We'll have to see. Okay, now let's see how he does here. How's he going to lean? Is he leaning? He is, or pretty close to it. Certainly close enough. Alright, so he'll be a nice little surprise for the player if they're not too careful. It's a little hard to see him there in the shadows. So the player will have to be cautious. Yeah, alright, I'm liking this. So let's move on to... It's good, it looks like he's, you know, not real keen about being on patrol. The story that I've had sort of in the back of my head is that these thugs know that there's a raid coming, and so they are on alert. One thing I'll do in a minute is just test to make sure those archers can get down the stairs, up and down the stairs. But I want to test. That's okay.
It's too late now. I haven't eaten since
Okay,
breakfast.
so we've got a thief patrolling well back and forth here. He's going to stop and look at the stairs. I guess that's fair. So the player will have time to kind of scoot around him. And up the stairs is this guy with his club. I feel like maybe having somebody in the rooms might help. Maybe that's where that drunk guy could go, or that drinking guy. Yeah, well, this could be a challenge. I don't know. Okay, and let's go in here. We've seen this room before. I suppose we could put the sitting guy in here too, but this is the boss's room. Would it look weird if there was a guy drinking in here and it wasn't the boss? That might be confusing. Why is that so black? I feel like there's no ambient light right there. I'll have to check that. And also, that vis portal must not be working, or I wouldn't be able to see through that gap. It would just be dark. I'll have to double check that too. That's part of what I would discover during the internal leak testing that I want to do. Okay, so maybe these rooms are awfully dark. Where would I put a guy sitting in here, though? I don't want to force the player to have to knock them out. If he's sitting on a chair right there, then the player can't really get through the door.
Greetings.
Yeah.
I don't want to redesign the room just to find him a spot to sit. Well, this is nice and dark, so the player could still get through here if this guy was sitting maybe... I don't know where he would be sitting. He can't be looking at the door. He'll see the player the moment the player goes in. Well, I don't know. I don't know if maybe we won't be able to put a sitting guy. Oh, now, what's going on here? A little bit of pathfinding problems, is there? Oh, okay, so something is going on here. He's not able to get up those stairs. So we will have to address that. Although he obviously got down the stairs. But he is not able to get up the stairs. Okay. And we have something we have to fix. But the rest of it looks pretty good, I think. This guy seems to be able to do his patrols through everything. Oh yeah, I wanted to test and let the AI see me. I better stay with no clip on. Because I want to see what the archers will do. So, let's go over here.
I'm not afraid of you.
There you are.
Nice.
Ah,
Nice.
take
Now,
this.
can you come down and get me?
Oh, I make it
Oh,
fast.
okay, good. Nice.
There you are.
There I am.
Yeah.
Cool, okay.
Ah.
Now, how can you follow me everywhere?
Ah.
Whoop. How about over here?
On your corpse when we're down here.
Can you follow me over
To
here?
arms. There's an intruder.
Oh, now
I'm
they're
not
fighting each
afraid
other.
of you.
Yeah.
You can get me.
Look at him.
Someone's
bleed.
been.
Take this.
Can you? Yeah, okay. What about in here? Can you get in here? Okay. Good. I think we're good then.
Take this.
This.
Oh! Okay.
Finally over.
Ha! Found you.
If you want trouble, you've come to the
This
right
is the
place.
spot where I want
Stop
to put
right
something
there.
really worth getting.
Take this.
Because the player is going to have a hard time getting there. What about up here? Can everybody get up on the
Hey, I've got
platform?
him cornered here. To me.
I'll help you.
Might be a little clunky, but
Where'd he go?
In the way.
Prepare to die, thief.
I bet you're right over there in those shadows.
they can.
It's
Not the prettiest stair climbing in the world, but at least they can get up, unlike the stairs in here. Now, let me test about getting up these stairs.
Drop that weapon. Don't move.
He's got it. Look there. A bloody thief.
Okay, can you get up these stairs?
Come on.
Doesn't look like it.
Come out.
Look, I'm right here. See?
That's him.
It is him.
After him.
Yeah, they can't get up the
got him
stairs.
cornered here.
Maybe these stairs aren't monster
There's an
clipped.
intruder.
I may have forgotten to put monster clip there. Okay, well, that tells us quite a bit. Okay, so we're going to have to take care of that. But I think I will cut the video here. Okay, we're back. And we're going to take care of a few of those things we found during our test. Starting with the fact that the female archer was sort of tap dancing, and the reason for that is because her path corner is buried in monster clip, and so it was too close. She couldn't get to where she wanted to go, so we're going to move her out here. That will both keep that tap dancing from happening, and it will also put her in the light, which is where we want her. Speaking of light, I had a note about, this ambient area this area was especially dark, and that's because the ambient light doesn't go that far. So we've got to make sure that the entire map is inside that ambient world, or we have nothing lighting the dark areas that aren't hit by other lights. On that note, I think I'm going to boost this a little bit because I'm finding the ambient a little dark. I still don't know exactly how to tweak these values to get the light that I want, but we'll boost that a little bit and see what happens. The other thing was the stairs. Now these stairs, as it turns out, are not world spawn, and there's no monster clip under them, so the AI does not know how to use them. So what we're going to do is ungroup this. Oh, let's turn, okay, so we can see monster clip. So we've ungrouped it, and then these are all func statics, which is why the AI cannot get up them. So I'm going to take those, I'm going to revert to world spawn, I'm going to clone them, raise them up, and I'm going to put a new texture on them here. It's this texture here under common. It's a new texture I made for placing on top of models of wood debris that tended to get the player to bounce around or get stuck on. And if you put this clip on them, both AI and players walk over top of it, but it sounds like wood when they walk on it. So it's a good thing to cover wooden surfaces with. We'll apply that, and then I want to group that. Good, and then I'm going to clone it, because we can do the exact same thing over, whoops, for the other stairs. There, and that should solve our problem with the AI not being able to get up those stairs. Okay, now I had talked about putting an AI in this room, and I've decided I'm going to do that because otherwise it's a little easy on the player, once he gets in that room, to search wherever he wants. So that's sitting, thief, drinking. I am going to put one of those in here. But to avoid the confusion that that might create, I'm going to change the model. So first of all, let's rotate this like this. We've got to give something for them to sit on. So put one of these chairs here like that. And then I think we also have to monster clip. Let's go up here and see. Where's the chair? Let's grab this. We'll move this over just like that. Hopefully this is not going to create too much problem. And then what I don't want to do, let's move them out a little bit. I don't want this to be a thief model. We'll make it a female rogue. And then for story purposes, maybe this will be the boss's girlfriend or something. Okay, so we'll try that and see how she works. So I'll save that. Okay, so now it's time to start placing loot and player equipment. Now this place, we might as well start here since we're here. This is empty, needs a little bit of something in it. Not a bad place to put loot. So let's start with some shelf objects. And this has a piece of loot in it. So let's put that in here like that. We can put that on the upper shelf. Just make sure we're not clipping anything. Okay. And then underneath, it's got a water arrow already. I think these would be, that might work. But I like the idea of having a water arrow if this fits. Bottle should. Let's hide everything else, just so we can line this up. And what if I just floor it? Will that work? I don't feel like, oh, well, I guess it's not going to work if everything's not on the shelf. Try rotating it. Is this going to fit? Oh yeah, it'll fit. Okay, and floor it. Good. All right, good enough. So there's some stuff in there. I want to put a chest of some kind at the foot of his bed. Let's go to containers. Some of these have loot in them. Footlocker loot. But is there a wealthy? Yes, wealthy loot. Let's put that here. I made this prefab for this chest a while ago and I've never had a chance to use it. So I'd like to use it here. So we'll put that at the foot of his bed. Is that rotated the right way? No. There, okay. And this has got a lot of loot in it, so I might, ungroup. I'm going to delete a couple of them. I don't want a huge amount of loot here because he's got his hidden safe after all. So let's delete that and we'll delete that. So we have a few things in there to make it worth getting into, but not so much that players are not going to look around for the other safe. Okay, and that's probably enough for there. Let's go to this area, this lit area in the center. Very challenging to get to, so I'm going to put some stuff to tempt the player here. And here I'm going to some stuff I did way back in A Score to Settle. Some of the attic loot. I made prefabs of that. So we'll drop this stuff down in the corner here. And let's just hide everything but this area. And make sure that it looks like something's clipping if I do it that way. Something's going to have to be clipping. Okay, so we'll put it like that. And what else have we got? I think there was another attic thing. Attic contraband. So we'll put that here. All this stuff is the kind of stuff you might find in a thug's hideout. Okay, and this has got a few flash bombs, some equipment, and let's throw a chest. Chest old loot. Yeah, why not? And then that should be plenty to get the player to risk coming out here. I have a feeling this is going to be tricky to get to, but that's okay. That's what I want. Now, let me just double check that this, I don't want this to start locked. Does it start locked or unlocked? Not locked. Okay, good. Although, maybe I should lock it. Force, and nothing else in here is locked. Let's make this locked. Then the player will have to spend a little bit of time picking it. Which would be great. Okay, good. So we've got some loot there. We've got a water arrow. I want to put a couple more of those around. So let me just grab the water arrow, copy it. I want to put one of them in here. Where? In this upper room here, just to give the player a little treat if they decide to explore in here. Where would a water arrow go? Maybe... maybe in the corner here. Yeah, maybe on top of that crate. I think these are movables, so they should just fall down. So I just have to make sure that they're over top of the thing I want them to fall onto. And that should be okay. So we've got a water arrow there, one there, one there, one there. Let's put one downstairs too. Maybe in that shelf area. Thugs might have a water arrow somewhere, right? Maybe in here. Although again, if the player, well, what the heck. We'll just put it on this shelf here. And we'll let it fall where it may, or will we? I guess we're not going to let it fall where it may. Okay, good enough. Okay, so that's enough water arrows around. So I've decided I'm not going to start the thief with much in the way of equipment, just to make this a little more challenging. Okay, so let's see. Anything else we want to put? Maybe... I was going to put a little footlocker down here with some loot, but if there's nothing in here, that becomes, I don't know, kind of a waste. AI never come in here, so I don't know if there's much point in that. So I think I'll skip that. What else have we got? Anything else that could go in here? Footlockers. Maybe we could put a footlocker in the other thing upstairs. What is this? Oh, this one, I think. I didn't make this, but I have seen this, and it is an openable chest, or openable crate with some loot inside, a couple plates. I'm not sure who made this one, but you know what? It would go perfectly up in this room with some clutter. Again, give the player a reason, or a reward rather, for exploring up here. What if we move that here, and we put that in the corner? Yeah. Now I don't, oh, That doesn't look like a very good side. Let's rotate that so that's hidden. Oh. Okay, obviously this is meant to go in a corner where the player can't get to the other sides. Hopefully it'll open the right way. I'm not quite sure what way it opens, but there, if the player takes a little bit of time to explore in here, it will be worth their while to do that. Wondering if maybe I should move this. What if we put this like that and shift it right back to the wall? Okay, good. Now how does it look in here with monster clip? Oh yeah, we better also clip those things we put downstairs. Okay, the AI cannot get through here anyway, so let's move this. We can actually move this a little bit like this, but move this one out so that's about how far they can get in this room. What about over here? We don't want the AI running over top of that. So let's monster clip this, and monster clip that, and monster clip that. Good enough. Alright. I feel like that's pretty good for loot, and that's pretty good for equipment. Next, let's put some sounds. And we don't have anything making sounds almost anywhere. I did notice when I was looking through some pipes, machine sound system, I don't know what that is, but there was a, what was it down here? Pipe venting steam, yes, another thing I had made for, I think I used it actually in both missions, but what the heck, we'll use it again. And this will just add a little bit of sound to this area. Okay, hide the monster clip. And we'll put this so that it's up against the wall. And that way it just adds something when the player comes out. Also adds a little bit of clutter to this area, which it once again needs. Because of that sound, I cannot tell when it's clipping into the wall. Oh. Yeah, it's clipping quite a bit. Okay, so we'll do that. And how about the floor? I better lower it just a bit. Okay, good enough. And this actually has a particle effect on it as well. So that'll vent some steam. Maybe move that over just a bit. All right, good enough. Oh, did I? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, let's save it there. We're not going to have a lot of time to put individual sounds on everything, unfortunately. That soundscapes can be a very rich, or add a richness to a mission. But what I am going to do is put some ambient music in, and I think in the developer section somebody made a soundtrack ambient, which is already set up to be looping and omni, which means it doesn't have a direction, and then we just have to pick the one that we want. So I think what we'll do, normally I would do this, honestly, I would set this up with location system, but I don't think I really have time to do that. So I'm just going to do this, so that we'll have one ambient that kind of focuses on the warehouse, and then anywhere that's not kind of covered, we'll add a little bit of stuff to it, something kind of like that. And there is a warehouse thing already, right? Oh, factory, I think it's called, which sort of has, where are we looking? Ambient, ambience, factory loop, I think is the one. Or is it factory distant? think this one has some steam puffs and stuff like that in it. Yeah, so we'll take that. Factory loop, okay, and then, oops, I shouldn't have really deselected that. Space for another one, and I do want a different sound in the living area, something maybe a little more threatening. So we'll do something kind of like, it will overlap a little bit, but I can't worry about that too much. Really? This just cannot futz with this too much. Okay, so choose sound. Okay, we can stop that one. And I wanted something kind of dark, something that was used in the original Too Late. Solitary? No. Something with S. Shadow loop? Yes, that's it. Okay, so I want that, but I think I want that much more quiet. Okay, so that'll do for sound. Here, oh shoot, I keep letting go of those things when I want to copy them. Let's do this. Over here, we're just going to put sort of an ambient machine sound. Put the min distance to 1. The max distance to, say, 10. That way there is some directionality to it. Get rid of the omni. I don't want that on. We do want looping, and we want to choose just some kind of machine hum. Environmental machine noise loop. Something that's sure that'll do. And again, that sounds pretty loud. Let's bring that down to -15 just to be on the safe side. Okay, and hopefully that will do for sounds. Alright, so I guess the next step is to make that safe.